World leaders are standing up to Donald Trump, and they are laying the smackdown after Donald Trump tariffed the world on what Trump called Liberation Day, but it was Annihilation Day, Recession Day, or Great Depression Day, or what, just Attack the World Economy Day. I want to highlight, for example, how Prime Minister Carney, how French President Emmanuel Macron, how the president of the European Union Commission, how the prime minister of Denmark, how others have stood up to Donald Trump. Donald Trump ran away to Mar-a-Lago to play golf once again. He left on Thursday after crashing our markets on Thursday. Donald Trump will be hosting a golf tournament funded by the Saudis in southern Florida, making money off of that, while he runs away from D.C. and while he refuses to even acknowledge the fact that 4 United States soldiers died in Lithuania, and he refuses to participate in these sacred ceremonies that all presidents would participate in to honor our fallen soldiers. Meanwhile, the leaders of Lithuania paying tribute to the fallen American soldiers who tragically died in Lithuania, while Donald Trump refuses to do anything but host golf tournaments with the Saudis to make money off of it in Florida. Let's go through what went down here. Prime Minister Carney surging ahead in the polls in Canada, leader of the Liberal Party. Here, Prime Minister Carney talks about how the 80-year period of a special relationship between the United States and Canada is done. Bye-bye, United States. Elbows up. Play this clip.
The global economy is fundamentally different today than it was yesterday. The system of global trade anchored on the United States that Canada has relied on since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for our country for decades, is over. Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over. The 80-year period when the United States embraced the mantle of global economic leadership, when it forged alliances rooted in trust and mutual respect, and championed the free and open exchange of goods and services, is over. Well, this is a tragedy. It is also the new reality. We must respond with both purpose and force. We are a free, sovereign, and ambitious country. We are masters in our own home.
Next, Prime Minister Carney talks about how since the United States has given up its role and is no longer a world leader, Canada is ready to lead. Elbows up. Play this clip.
I told the President that I will be working hard for the next month to earn the right to represent Canada in those discussions, to get the best deal for Canada under the new U.S. approach. At the same time, Canada must be looking elsewhere to expand our trade, to build our economy, and to protect our sovereignty. Canada is ready to take a leadership role in building a coalition of like-minded countries who share our values. We believe in international cooperation. We believe in the free and open exchange of goods, services, and ideas. And if the United States no longer wants to lead, Canada will.
And here, Prime Minister Carney talks about the retaliation that will take place against the United States by Canada, a matching 25% tariff on all imported American vehicles, not compliant with the CUSMA. Take a listen how he describes it. Let's play it.
As I told President Trump during our call last week, Canada will respond to the U.S. auto tariffs. And today I'm announcing that the government of Canada will be responding by matching the U.S. approach, with 25% tariffs on all vehicles imported from the United States that are not compliant with CUSMA, our North American Free Trade Agreement. And on the non-Canadian content of CUSMA-compliant vehicles from the United States as well. Our tariffs, though, unlike the US tariffs, will not affect auto parts because we know the benefits of our integrated production system. And they will also not affect vehicle content from Mexico, who is respecting the CUSMA agreement. And as well, we are developing a framework for auto producers in Canada to get relief from these counter tariffs as long as they maintain their production and investment in our country. Importantly, every single dollar raised from those counter tariffs, our counter tariffs, which could reach around $8 billion before remission, will go directly to our auto workers and the companies affected by those tariffs. And that's on top of a $2 billion fund we announced last week to build a Made in Canada auto sector, a fund that a new Liberal government would implement should we be elected.
Let's go to France, where French President Emmanuel Macron is not playing around with Donald Trump. Here is Macron. Here's what he's got to say. Play this clip.
It was important for us to meet as soon as possible after last night's announcements by President Trump, which are a shock for international trade, not just for the European Union, France, but fundamentally for the smooth functioning of trade. What is important, and it's all the work that needs to be done per sector, is that upcoming investments or the investments announced in recent weeks are temporarily suspended until things are clarified with the United States of America. Because what would be the message of having major European players starting to invest billions of euros in the American economy at a time when they are hitting us? Therefore, we need to have collective solidarity.
Here's French President Emmanuel Macron as well. Let's play it.
As the president of the European Commission said, and the vice president present here, nothing is excluded. And so all instruments are on the table, tariff responses to make, faced with the activation of mechanisms under our control, such as the anti-coercion mechanism, the possibility of having responses on digital services. The United States benefits greatly from Europe, the possibility of also looking at the financing mechanisms of the American economy. Nothing should be excluded in the short term. We must do what is most effective, the most proportionate, but in any case, it clearly marks that we are determined not to let it happen, not to have sectors that fall victim to these tariffs, and therefore to defend and protect ourselves.
Now let's head to Greenland, where there was a state visit by the Prime Minister of Denmark. Greenland is still part of the Kingdom of Denmark. And of course, you know, Donald Trump and the Trump dastardly regime continues to threaten the sovereignty of Greenland, talks about using military force to conquer Greenland, and Denmark, Europe ain't happy about the threats, which are attacks by the United States on other NATO nations. And so the Denmark Prime Minister took a visit, was actually warmly welcomed in Greenland. Now, to be clear, Greenland wants its sovereignty, although it is going about it in a meticulous and careful way. But they welcomed, actually, and I saw the new Prime Minister of Greenland welcoming Denmark. But I think people in Greenland want to do it on their own terms. They want zero to do with the United States. They have zero interest in being taken over, like zero interest in being taken over by the United States. The Denmark Prime Minister arriving in Greenland there shows respect to the Greenlanders. They've always respected the sovereignty of Greenland in the sense of when you're ready to vote, you can feel free to vote and, you know, do what you want to do there. But there's a great deal of pride, I think, that Denmark has in Greenland. And with the threats and attack by the United States, the Prime Minister of Denmark was just not having it. I want you to listen to this incredible speech. Play this clip.
I would like to take this opportunity to send a message directly to the United States of America. The US is a big country and Denmark is a small one. We have looked up to you and you have inspired us. Because since the Second World War, you have defended the free world, created prosperity and progress, peace and freedom. And we have tried to give back to you by always supporting you and by showing up every time you called. In us, you have a friend that has always kept our word, a friend you have always been able to rely on. There is nothing I want more than for our friendship to continue. Because if we let ourselves be divided as allies, then we do our foes a favor. And I will do everything that I can to prevent that from happening. Therefore, when you ask our businesses to invest in the US, they do. When you ask us to spend more on defense, we do. And when you ask of us to strengthen security in the Arctic, we are on the same page. But when you demand to take over a part of the kingdoms of Denmark territory, when we are met by pressure and by threats from our closest ally, what are we to believe in about the country that we have admired for so many years? The country that, if any, have stood up for others' freedom. You know us, you know what we stand for, and you know that we don't give in. And that is why I have to say very clearly, national borders, sovereignty of states, and our integrity, these are all principles rooted in international law. These are fundamental principles formed after the Second World War so that small countries don't have to fear big ones. And so this is not only about Greenland or Denmark. This is about the world order that we have built together across the Atlantic over generations. You cannot annex another country, not even with an argument about international security. Talking about security, then there is a lot that we and you can do. Denmark is now strengthening our own presence. New Arctic ships, long-range drones, and satellite capacity. We uphold our commitments, and more is on its way. It has, by the way, always been a common task to safeguard security in the Arctic. Greenland is a part of NATO, and for 75 years we have had a defense agreement with you that gives you a wide access to Greenland. If you want to be more present in Greenland, Greenland and Denmark is ready. And if you would like to strengthen the security in the Arctic, just like us, then let us do it together. Tak for ordet.
And then later, Denmark's prime minister gave this message about Greenland as well. This one is translated into English because it was not originally spoken in English. Here, play this clip.
Yes, but the USA shall not take over Greenland. Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders, and the USA shall not take over Greenland. And that is, of course, also the message that we will be saying together as a group in the next few days. It is our unity, and regardless of what discussions we may have down the road about our Commonwealth and the Greenlandic-Danish relationship, it is clear that with the pressure from the Americans on Greenland in relation to sovereignty, and in relation to borders, and in relation to the future, we must stand together. I think we have done the job well so far, but it is clear that we need to batten down the hatches even more.
Going on, the Trump regime had its top propagandists go out on various media. Some went on Fox regime media, others went on corporate media like CNN. Here is Howard Lutnick whining, complaining about Europe, saying Europe won't let us sell the beef. Australia won't sell us beef. They don't let us sell us beef. Beef this, beef that. And it's just a bunch of whiny losers in the Trump regime. Billionaire, this guy's a billionaire, Lutnick. Commerce Secretary, Whiny billionaire losers. Wah, 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 wah. Play this clip.
In a few days, we're about to see prices go up at the grocery store. What do you say to those Americans?
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't
the reason
think,
it's
can
going
you
to
guarantee
happen,
it won't happen?
watch, no one can guarantee anything, but that's very nice. Thank you. I wish I could guarantee
Okay.
whatever you'd like. But the fact is, wait, let's take one moment. Wait. You asked me a question. Let's go through it, okay? Our farmers are blocked from selling almost anywhere. We can't, 1.4 billion people in India, and we can't sell them corn. Europe won't let us sell beef. Australia won't let us sell beef. Why?
Hormonal chemicals.
Yeah, no, that's not why. It's because they want to just protect. I know they want to say, oh, what? The seeds are different, right? Other people in the world are using seeds that insects. Come on, this is nonsense. This is all nonsense. What happens is they block our markets. When we open those markets, our volumes grow. Our farmers will thrive and the price of groceries will come down. Let Donald Trump run the global economy. He knows what he's doing. He's been talking about it for 35 years. You got to trust Donald Trump in the...
Speaking of losers and wah, 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 Donald Trump, when he was heading to Florida, abandoning Washington, D.C. to go and host golf tournaments with the Saudis and vacation while forcing the American people to suffer intentionally, as Trump does that with glee. Here, Donald Trump talks about attacks Europe, he says, for not being successful in dealing with Putin. What a warped freaking mind that Donald Trump has. You're saying that Europe has not been successful in dealing with Putin? Putin who wants to just unlawfully invade and take it over, and Europe who's standing up while you, Donald, aid and abet Putin? Here, play this clip.
And you're losing 2,000, 3,000 sometimes a week. So we're spearheading the drive to get it done. Europe has not been successful in dealing with President Putin, but I think I will be successful.
So now I want to talk about what's going on in Lithuania. Trump ditching the fallen soldiers' dignified transfer, sacred ceremony to honor our fallen troops, because Donald Trump is doing a golf dinner with the Saudis. Trump won't attend the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. soldiers at Dover Air Force Base who died in Lithuania during a training exercise. Instead, he'll be at the Saudi-backed Live Golf dinner in Florida instead. The soldiers, however, were honored by Lithuania's president. Here is the leaders of Lithuania. They hosted a ceremony for our fallen soldiers. Donald Trump refused to do so. The message is clear. Lithuania mourns. The pain of the U.S. soldiers' family is our pain, and we stand together in this time of sorrow. Today, Lithuania paid homage to the fallen U.S. soldiers. Credit this video to Arūnas Kaselius. I want to show you this because Donald Trump doesn't have any of the empathy or ability to even write a statement like that. Here, play this clip. There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.